All right, welcome to another edition of Q&A. I'm your host, Q. We got with us Shah, who was recently banned from TikTok. Boo! But we have Caleb here. Caleb, how can you help us and others on TikTok?
So I'm Caleb Roberts. I'm on TikTok, obviously. I have around 26,000 followers right now, and I mostly help businesses get on TikTok and make money off of TikTok. I've branded myself as the TikTok marketer. So that's mostly what I do, is just basically help businesses on TikTok.
And where can we find you on TikTok? What's your at?
It's at caleb.m.roberts.
Perfect. All right. Well, Shah, seeing as you need a little more help right now, what's some questions that you'd like to know?
Telemundo went viral on TikTok, and I was asking how to capitalize, and I was telling you that the people that helped make Telemundo go viral on Instagram like 10, 11 months ago were like, I don't think Dominicans are on TikTok. And then you're like, well, people just think that TikTok is just kids and dancing and whatever. But then, and I did too. And I didn't even want to I had the app. I've had the app on my phone since Musical.ly, and I just didn't open it because I didn't want to have to take on a new responsibility. And then it was TikTok, and I still didn't open it up. But then when you get into it, there really is this community. And part of that, I guess, is the strength of the algorithm in showing you content that you kind of do want to see. And there's still a lot of stuff that I don't want to see, but there is at least some stuff that I do want to see of content that that I saw from Caleb. And I just hit him up, and then a conversation began. He's just giving me game. It's similar to Gary Vee, and here's all sorts of ways to make dough. All these sorts of ways to make dough without having you don't need a college degree, you don't need any equipment, blah, 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 right? One of them I did see, and it was like, hey, you want an extra way? You want to know a way to make some extra money on the weekends? Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, go make balloon animals at the restaurant. So I offered to do it for free. I go get my balloons in my balloon tank or whatever the equipment was. They cost 10 cents. I go and I offer to do it for free. And I'm like, I'll just work tips. And he's like, I make $200 a night. So there's Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. There's $600. And I'm like, man, all these other guys who talk about grinding and blah, 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 they leave out the grinding part. They're like, you need to grind nonstop, blah, blah, blah. But then they don't actually talk about the dirty work. And it's like, here, you laid it out. I'm like, man, this guy, he doesn't give a fuck. He's just so genuine. I saw there's this guy who also appeared on my For You page. It's this guy, kind of like this California looking guy. He wears hair clips. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And then, and I think he has a bigger following, like 6 figures. And then I think I asked you a question, what's a pixel? And then you responded to my thing with a story. And I think that guy commented in the thing, oh, that's a great idea, whatever your advice was. And I'm like, oh, this guy's a bigger guy. And here's more just evidence of this community where it doesn't really matter who's engaging who. And then you responded, you're like, hey, I got some good game from you. I used one of your tips and I got 100,000 views on it. So this really is a community. It's not just kids. It's not just karaoke and dance challenges. That might still be the bread and butter, but I guess I would see dance challenges, girls with their titties out, because clearly that's what I was spending longer watching. No. So for artists out there, and then the big thing is that, and then I popped within a month of actually engaging TikTok, and I wasn't even doing it all the right way. But any general tips for a rapper?
Yeah, so I first wanted to say thanks for, just hyping me up right there earlier. And also to hit on some points before I answer your question is what you're talking about in that community is TikTok is the highest engaged platform so far. And they love keeping people on the app with the For You page. Like you were saying, you found me because it was showing you stuff. It was trying to find out what would make you stay on the platform. And I was able to, I respond to DMs pretty often just because I like helping out people, because I don't want to be the only guy that's making money off of TikTok or or something like that. I want to make sure everyone has an opportunity to do that. But, you know, you hit it right on the nail saying that it's a community, because we see people who are celebrities now replying to comments. We see people finally being able to communicate with people they dreamed of talking to now through TikTok, because it's just a thing to do, to respond and talk to people.
Okay.
And so piggybacking off of that, it's first, you know, engagement in general, like you were talking about. Whenever you post any type of video, it's if people know that they can be spoken to by, like, let's say someone has your stuff and all of a sudden they've been wanting to talk to you or go to a concert or whatever, and then they see that you replied back to them in a comment, all of a sudden they're going to be a lifelong follower. And while that's not like absolutely needed for success on TikTok, that's what'll keep you having a really good engagement and base of followers. But for rappers, musicians in general, there was this one TikTok that Gary Vee posted, and it was him telling another rapper, like, get on TikTok right now. Like, I have no doubt within a year from now, you're going to have 1 million streams, because if you go hard on TikTok, if you post all the time, one of those songs is going to become a trend or something. And I looked at his profile after seeing that, because he had posted on the year anniversary, and he was the guy who had made one of the biggest songs that I had heard on TikTok, and I didn't even know it. I don't really pay attention to artists whenever that happens, but a lot of other people do, and he had 1 million followers already, and he's like, I can't get on TikTok, man. It's just kids, you know? Well, another thing I've noticed today was a duo rapping team. They said that their mentor that they had paid was telling them to spend all of their money to put it on a label, and then they were hoping for the best, but they're like, no, we're not going to do that. And there's this thing with community where if it's one team against the other and someone's the underdog, they always cheer them on over. And so what the thing was is like, our mentor said we couldn't do this. Our mentor said we couldn't get 1 million streams on Spotify. So you know what we're going to do? We're relying on you, Gen Z. And they called out who the protagonist was. And I looked at his following videos. You know, I think he got verified because of these videos he made, but within 14 days, he had 2 million streams on Spotify with his friend. And
how do you know that?
Because he made a video talking about it.
Got it.
And he was trying then to be on Spotify's top 50 for the country. And he was talking about, let's push a little bit farther and get there. So he was like, he brought him through a whole journey. And there's complete one-off things, but that matters. And then there's a song called 2020 right now, where someone released it through TikTok. It was a trio of girls, and they did that too. And they just released their music video on TikTok, and it like became a thing. It's now got hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube because of it. And like it became a trend to use that song. So if people know how to position their song into a trend or a dance or a story, then all of a sudden it's super easy. And that's what I tell people is anytime you post to TikTok specifically for business, you have to tell a story. And if you don't tell a story, no one's going to be there. And for educational content in business specifically, it's hook them with something, educate them, or tell a story, then tell them what to do afterwards. And most every successful video follows that same thing. Otherwise, you're not going to make money off of funny videos unless you tell them what to do afterwards. So
okay, so what do you suggest? So like, let's say an artist they chose a song, they get it on the TikTok. So let's say they want to do, I don't know, a dance trend, whatever, doesn't matter, whatever they choose. Do they post that dance trend video first, and then do they do a new post asking people to do it, or?
So I think it would kind of be like guerrilla. There's several different ways. So if you wanted to start a dance trend, and I think I told you, Shah, this too, you would want to create a dance, make it different than everyone else's. You don't want to be another dance in the crowd. And you obviously have to make it a lot different, but you would want to get a team of influencers to post about it. and then do that same thing to make that everyone else think that it's a trending hashtag and dance. So now people duet it, and every time people get duetted, all of a sudden TikTok boosts it, because if you're creating content that makes other people create content, that means they're staying on the platform. Now, the other way, if you don't want to go guerrilla marketing, like just do it all in the background, create inorganic growth, then you want to tell a story about the song. Like, there's been several times where someone talks about, so someone released a book on TikTok too, and it was about how she got a divorce because she was cheated on. She met a guy. She was going to go to Europe. 2 days before she went to Europe, she was told by her lover that he didn't want to go with her anymore. So then she went to Europe all alone, and she was like, I wrote a book about my experience, so you should buy it and you should read it, because, and then she gave like a montage of all of her Europe trip.
Nice.
And there's other people who have said, like, this is, she just had the song in her background, and it was her saying, like, I just broke up with my boyfriend of 4 years. It really hurts. And whenever it really hurts, I write it out. And then I record the song. And the song you're listening to right now is mine. So if you want to support me, then you should keep on listening to the song. You know,
so
like,
you're pulling those strings, those emotional strings.
People want to support other people. That, like, people love supporting other people on TikTok. It's amazing how nice people have been to me in general. Like, I expected a ton of negativity just because I know that's what happens in YouTube comments. But I think I've only had one person that's called me fat out of all of my videos I've made. And I expected a lot more people to, like, nitpick at me or say anything rude. And I don't know, it's just people have been really nice and supportive. Or, you know, it's a thing to say on TikTok, like, here, you drop this king, and they do the crown emoji, you know, like, that's so nice. And like, people just support each other,
or
and they
CEO
love doing that.
of blah blah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So just give a story about your song, or create a trend, and then get a team of people to create that trend with you.